Good morning everyone and welcome to quite a grey and currently overcast day in London. It's middle January, it's the cold months, but this is the months that you got to put in the work. But at the same time, I don't really feel like just staying outside today. I think I'm well overdue a museum visit. So in this video I'm going to start off by going to the British Museum, and then from there, I don't know, I'm going to wander the streets and hopefully prove to you that even though I photograph with light in mind and shadow and shape, that you don't need that to get decent photography. The good thing about photographing in the UK inside of museums is they're all free, so it allows you to just rock up and go in. You can't get that everywhere, I understand that, but wherever I've gone, I've got some good photography in museums as well, so it's well worth doing if you're struggling for ideas. Let's get to the British Museum, and then afterwards we'll see what photos we can grab on the streets. Maybe the sun will be out by then. So I'm going to try and play with perspective here on these stairs. Again, the British Museum is very minimal in terms of how much this big open forum can give you some negative space using the white of the floor, the white of the walls. So exposing for that and keeping everything else dark could create quite a nice scene. And all I need to do is wait for someone wearing dark clothing, similar to what I'm wearing actually, going up the stairs. If I get low, you can really isolate them. We'll try it. So what we kind of want here is use the geometry of the stairs, capture someone when the crowds have gone as like on their own, and then there's not much light down there, but there is some, and that is basically the best pocket of light that we can get. So we'll use the stairs for geometry, wait for someone to walk up or down them, and we'll go from there. Nice bit of crocodile armour. I'm going to use the sleeve hole to frame a face on the other side. But I need to wait for people to get away from the other side of me so I can shoot into the distance to isolate their head. One of the reasons and one of the ways I get a lot of my shots in museums is by using these glass cabinets with all of the assets inside of them. And because they're positioned quite close to one another, you can put your camera in and use it to get a hell of a lot of reflections if someone was to walk past. So I'm using these two glass containers to put my camera between. And then as someone walks up to the cabinets further down there, you get quite a nice reflection and quite a nice composition. So that window there is quite nice just for the texture. And usually I would just shoot that on its own with someone walking past it. But because of all the glass cabinets, you can use it to create quite a nice double reflection. Split the scene in half. If someone's walking past that window, they're basically walking into each other, which will look quite cool. And because of all the texture, it maximizes the scene, adds to it. I think it looks quite nice and very me. So we're overlooking the main entrance now, and the idea is to do a slow shutter as the people are moving around, and then focus on someone that's standing still, getting some movement around them. I might even do some artsy stuff and move the camera deliberately to see what I can get. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people standing around. You don't want that. You want someone just standing still and everyone around them moving. And that will create quite a nice scene. But if everyone's standing around, you won't really notice it as much. Right, so I'm using this painted window as a bit of a frame because you've got this unpainted dark texture of the window which will allow you to frame someone walking past as a reflection. You just got to wait for someone in light clothing would probably work better, if I'm being honest. But it's quite a nice frame because you've got that contrast. You just need someone to match it, really. I fully can't resist one new change. Even when it's grey and miserable and cold, there's still opportunity for some shots here. In fact, I think this is one of the very few all-weather photography spots in the city of London. And it's so compact. There's so many different things you can photograph in such a small space. You've got the main stairs, but you've got it from different angles. You've got the reflections, you've got the glass, you can shoot some pools. There's tons of things you can do here in a very confined space. It's nice. In fact, there's one up there. Right, a couple of potential scenes here. You've got those stairs, and they're quite contrasty when people are walking up and down them. Let's try and get this person with a dog. It's quite nice. But yeah, you see what I mean. Stairs are quite bright. If people are wearing dark clothing, that's good too. Also, this statue here, it's got a perfect frame to capture people in. So I'm going to also try that. Just try and use that frame to isolate a subject. That dog person is basically walking through that as well. So that's pretty cool. They might walk out the other side, not sure. But yeah, a couple of scenes here, which you don't get often, multiple scenes in one location. I could combine the two, but we'll see. Right. I don't think I've got anything outstanding, but the whole point of putting in these repetitions, it's like working out, right? The more you do, the easier it gets, keeping your mind fresh, keeping your mind active and thinking about shots. And you can't just be photographing in the best of conditions, especially when you live in London. 90% of our weather is like this, so it's been good to get out. Good, even though it's cold and I haven't got anything portfolio worthy, I've enjoyed it nevertheless. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go and go to a bar, I think, now. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.